How Long Gone is here. What's up? It's me, Jason. Chris, what's up, bro? How are you?
What up, bro?
To crack
another
a cold
day
one for Labor Day, baby.
another day in paradise. Yeah, I'm wearing my American flag sweater with my American flag pants, just to celebrate Labor Day. And I know that you're preparing for a big crab boil over at your house, so I hope that you've kind of put the paper down on the table so you can just dump that bucket out tomorrow.
I've got the Baltimore Gazette laid out all over my picnic bench in the backyard, ready to receive my corn cobs and loose potatoes.
How sick would it be if you were that serious that you were like, I ordered some Baltimore Gazettes on eBay to make the experience more authentic for everyone. I hope you guys appreciate that.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, whenever I would see those like old videos or like, fish and chips used to be served on the newspaper back in the day. And even then I'd be like, is this really
is this
a sanitary move?
It's definitely not a sanitary move. You get ink all over your damn crab is the thing. There's no way.
Well, I mean, not to be confused with the Japanese inky crab, which is a very seasonal, delicious item.
Oh, I apologize for that. Yes.
Yeah, obviously it's good. It's good to put a little good to put a little dirt on your fingernails and eat a little bit of newspaper ink every once in a while. But maybe back then, whatever in the 60s or so, 50s, that was before we kind of had those processed GMO newspaper inks. And all those, seed oil inks that were damaging our body.
I cannot get even a little bit of the seed oil ink in my mouth, or it's going to upset my.
Because back in the day, it used to be just lard, man. We would make the newspaper with beef tallow.
Exactly. It was different.
Avocado oil, coconut oils, things like that.
That's how God intended. Yeah, I'm not doing. We're working on Labor Day tomorrow. And I'm actually going to the U.S. Open tomorrow night with J. Crew, but I don't know what I mean, now that Ben's out, I'm kind of like, who do I root for? Which American? Taylor Fritz is too much of a pussy, so Tiafoe is going to be my guy, I think. How are you feeling about which American to root for?
Well, I don't necessarily need to root for an American, I guess. I don't really care. And Alcaraz is out too, right?
Yeah, that little Lego ass bitch got knocked out. Djokovic is out, and I mean it's kind of, I mean, Sinner's gonna win probably, but it's kind of wide open in a way that, like, it's proven to be an unpredictable tournament. It's kind of more fun that way.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the U.S. Open almost always feels like that. Like it's a tournament where upsets are not super unusual.
No, they're not super.
Weird things like that happen.
I agree. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't care. I mean, I know that a lot of people don't like Alcaraz already, and they don't like the way that the shape of his skull as well. But I feel like I'm the only person that finds him to be a good-looking guy.
I know that. I'm
not saying he's fuckable, but
I know where your tastes lie, and that is surprising to me. I know your taste in men pretty well at this point, but no, I don't disagree. I think he will blossom. He's still so young, and he's in amazing shape, obviously. He's a great athlete. I just don't like...
You're saying once he hits puberty, he's going to really be something nice.
Exactly,
okay.
Yeah. But with all athletes like this, I just feel like because they've never had to develop a personality, because they've only been focused on being good at one thing their entire life.
That's not true. They go, tennis is good for a brain.
They have nothing to say, which is fine.
Very nice job.
And so when one of them does have something to say or is funny or interesting, it's like it's truly blows the whole thing open.
It gobsmacks one.
Yeah, like, you can actually be a normal person that started playing tennis when you could, before you could walk. And I just don't know. I mean,
like when they see a straight guy who really be dressing, they're like,
exactly.
I was unaware of your talents.
And I mean, Djokovic is even more annoying, but he's just a robot too, in a way. But it's nice that they're all out. It's nice that we got some Americans in there. And our boy Flavio lost last night, but it wasn't a total piss poor showing. He had too much ravioli before the fucking set. He was carb loading. I read this. There's a story in the New York Times actually about an Italian restaurant in the East Village that like all the Italian professional tennis players eat at during the U.S. Open. And it's like the place they go because it's like the most
Really?
it's like the most authentic. It's like it's the best thing. They
It's
love
called,
it.
how you say, Lucien.
No,
and
they have
Ristorante Lucien.
they have the worst, like the owner. They're like, this is the owner, and he's of course the most Italian ass. Like got the ponytail bun. You know what I mean? Just like the 16 bracelets on every wrist. Like the most Italian guy in the world. I'm familiar with it. I've heard the name before. But I've never eaten it.
Okay, so it's authentic. It ain't no Scar's Pizzeria, is what you're saying.
It is not Scar's Pizzeria. It is. Here we go. A little corner of Rome in the East Village. A Manhattan trattoria has become the de facto lounge for Italians at the U.S. Open. It's called Villa della Pace, and it's been there forever. It burned down. Obviously, they were doing an insurance scam, and now it is moved.
Little Italian lightning, huh?
Yes, exactly. A little Italian lightning, but Musetti, Bronzetti, and Flavio have all been grubbing down there during the week.
They've all twisted their fork there a couple times. Okay. So you said, what was the name of the place again? It was
Via della Pace.
Via del Pat. Could it be Pace?
I don't know. VIADELLAPACE.
Mm-hmm. Because there's an Italian restaurant here called Pace.
Yeah, I know that restaurant. That you mean the overrated restaurant in Topanga Canyon?
Very overrated. It's a good date spot. Oh yeah, it's called Pace. Just translates in English to the word peace. So Villa de Pace could just mean this is a peaceful house. So no wonder what these Italians want to show up there.
Yeah, because I think of Italians as peaceful. That's kind of what I think of when I think of their rowdy behavior.
Just want to sit on the street, smoke a cigar, and yell at immigrants. Just be peaceful.
But I mean, now I wonder. I mean, this guy has a crazy beard, a top knot. He's wearing suspenders, a printed shirt with a tie. The look is absolutely lit.
So he's a guy who owns an Italian restaurant. Got it. This sounds pretty stereotypical.
But I just think that, Rome stuff isn't super attractive, to me. It doesn't. I'm sure.
When you say Rome stuff,
I just like the decor of this restaurant.
Because I've said that in the bedroom before. Like, look, I'm not into Rome stuff.
We're not doing Rome
first and foremost.
No roaming here. Okay.
There's no Rome. To me, Rome stuff is it's giving Vatican. It's giving child molestation. I don't roam like that.
Rome as a place is kind of cheesy. It's like kind of corny. Like if you try to export that, especially like when you go there and you're doing it, of course I'm sure it's special. I've never been there because I don't care about visiting the old world.
So in your mind, I see what you're saying, where it's kind of like we've recreated the Grove here in Italy for an authentic experience of America.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like I don't know, but I guess the food must be smacking if all these Italians are making the trek to the East Village.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that Rome may or may not arguably have the best Italian food
for sure,
in the world. All the best pastas that I've eaten, I will say, have happened in Rome.
I know you're like Evan Funky. You don't eat pasta outside of Italy, which is a nice, strict rule for you to live by. I appreciate your kind of boundaries.
I only eat it at Evan Funky's restaurants, Rome, Italy, or sometimes in my own cucina, and that's it.
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Of course, also if Davide makes it for me, that I will eat that as well.
Okay, so if Davide, I've seen Davide.
That man can make a pasta, no cap.
I've seen Davide whipping,
no cappuccino,
whipping his wrist with the sauce in the pan. I've seen some sauce splash on his shirt, and I didn't want to talk about it, but it's something I've seen.
Yeah, I know. You're in the kitchen. You got your linen on. It's got one button, maybe two. You got a little sauce in there. Oops a daisies. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I have to take my shirt off.
Here's some sauce. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of tennis. I'm excited to go. I'm going twice next week, actually. So
this is good. Yeah, I'm really sad. I got invited. Shout out to my family over at Gregus for inviting me to your cucina, your Casa de la Expensive Vodka. But I will not be there. I will be at home working on myself.
I mean,
not drinking.
Sporting events I liked. The U.S. Open I like to go to, but it's also a lot of work, and it's like everything else in life. It's better on TV, but
Yeah, it's like me DJing the Cinespace reunion. Actually DJing it, fun. But getting there,
the people. So there's a Cinespace reunion Tuesday, right? It happened Tuesday?
Yeah, it was a few days ago.
And you didn't go, but you didn't DJ, but you also didn't just go to build, correct? That would have been rude.
That is correct. I mean, I did not go. It just felt odd to me just to have a person ask me if I want to DJ a party that I invented.
Yeah, hold on. So the party that
it just felt odd.
So who owns the rights to Cinespace Tuesdays? Is this a lawsuit thing we need to? Because I'm very litigious.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's it. That's your problem.
No, nobody. There's nobody owns legal rights to it. If you believe it or not, we did not secure any trademarks on the name of our Tuesday club.
Well, unfortunately for you, I think that if it came down to it, Steve Aoki would be able to kind of wrestle that one away from you. So it's probably best.
He would.
There's not.
He would.
There's not a legal battle going on. It's probably best. It's better that way.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of DJing stuff, I noticed earlier today that the amount of Burning Man content that I'm seeing on Instagram has gone down a lot in the last couple of years.
Yeah. They're saying it's over. They're saying it also, much like Coachella, like didn't sell out beforehand, which it always does.
Yeah. I mean, Diplo's barely posting through it, and I used to get a good 37 slides out of him. From the playa.
Don't worry. There's a Secular Sabbath. Rye was playing Secular Sabbath this morning as the sun rose.
Thank God.
So it's still happening.
That must have been ethereal AF. But and also How Long Gone guest Moshe Kasher posted a video of him. Since he's a famous burner, he said this is his 24th year.
God, I didn't know that. And he's sober. That's insane.
Yeah, really insane.
I think those things are just kind of like. You can't be on top forever, and it's just like people are going to lose interest eventually, because also after the last year where it was like people got stuck and shit, it's probably like I think that turns people off. To think they could die in the desert is not the most fun thing.
Yeah,
it's not selling tickets.
And also, I think a lot of the people, it would like be a celebration of kind of San Francisco Bay Area tech wealth, where everyone's like, we're just so busy making money, we should take time and just really celebrate our wins and go all out and swag off in the desert. And it just it doesn't really seem like there's that much to celebrate. As I think I just saw the 49ers rookie running back was in San Francisco Union Square, like center of the city, and was like shot in the chest for his Rolex.
That's why you don't wear
like shopping on a Saturday.
Really?
That's why you don't bring your Rolex to or to Market Street or to even Union Square.
That's actually crazy. I didn't see that. I mean, I didn't.
It's dark. Yeah, there's a video of him like walking like into the ambulance, just like just.
Well, at least he walked. At least he walked
shot
into the
me
ambulance.
And took my Rolex.
At least he walked in. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah,
his condition is stable.
NFL star Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, attempted robbery, San Francisco Union Square on Saturday. The Whiteout's mom, Erin, broke her silence. Thank God she was able to speak about it.
It's not a good look for Gavin Newsom's NorCal. San Francisco is the dead horse, and it's been kicked 1,000 times in the last year, and they're like, you know what? Let's give him let's give him a pile driver.
I think, it's not.
And let's just start shooting NFL players in broad daylight.
I just don't know what happens up there. I don't know what, like, I thought they had a plan. I thought there was like a whole thing happening where it was like, all right, we're getting this fixed, we're getting people, but it feels like they've been saying that for 5 years and nothing ever happens.
Longer than 5 now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I have no idea. I feel bad. I love San Francisco as a city and a culture and all the people there. I hope that we can turn the ship around, but it's tough up there. Real estate's fucked. Sick ass crazy. Giant one of a kind mansions. Prices are getting slashed.
That's well.
Nobody could sell their houses.
Sounds like a good time to move, because I do think it will bounce back, because it is one of America's great cities. Like you know what I mean. I think it'll be fine.
It is. Well, yeah, you should move there, Chris. And then
I'm good.
In 11 years, you'll be having that last laugh, brother.
It's good. No, it's
once Project 2025 kicks in, SF is going to be lit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can't wait for Project 2025 to kick in. I can't wait.
Yeah, actually, it was funny. Speaking of my Cinespace, the old party that I used to throw. If people don't know, I saw a flyer that I shared with you, Chris, of where I booked a Killers DJ set. And I remember at the time being kind of upset about it, just like, I guess we'll do it. Like they weren't that big yet, and they were kind of like a cheesy band. And I remember being like, I guess we can have the Killers DJ.
I mean, I think you had...
And they had to pitch me on it kind of thing.
Well,
the times have changed.
Times have changed because I saw some garbage at that party for sure in my time. I saw a Franz Ferdinand set. So you ain't got two legs to stand on, big dog.
Franz Ferdinand, they had a very big moment at the time, bro.
I agree. No, I agree. Their career has kind of stalled compared to the Killers and some other contemporaries.
Well, they're the Hives, but yeah, they have stalled.
That's true. They are the Hives. I mean, I think the Hives do pretty well.
Yeah, they have a cult following because on stage they still, they're old now, and they are still wearing their crazy suits and they're playing their hearts out every night, blood, sweat, and tears, like real rock star kind of behavior through the ins and outs, the ups and downs, career highs and lows. And I think that they've built just like a core audience of like these guys shred, kind of in like a Turbo Negro kind of way.
Yeah, for sure.
There's like an infamous
rock.
you got to see these guys live if they come to your town. Like even if you don't like the music, they put on a show.
People have been asking me a lot if I got Oasis tickets, and like, of course I didn't. I'm just going to buy them on StubHub and overpay because I don't understand. I don't even know how you went about getting them. Like it doesn't even make. It's like there's a queue and you're 250,000th in line in a digital queue. Like I'm good, bro. I'm just gonna pay more than I should. I can't. Like it's all too. I've never done something like that. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna wait until somebody gives me the opportunity to have a free ticket or a buy link or whatever.
I don't think that's.
I mean, you have to ask somebody, in Europe. And then they'll go wait in the queue for you. I have a lot of friends who did it and secured the ticks, but, I don't have time.
I mean, I definitely have time, but it was at 4 a.m. I'm not going to set an alarm. I'm not going to set an alarm to do it. And I mean...
But that kind of has, like, the fun, like, British football tradition. We're going to wake up at 3 and we're going to get the pints out and we're going to wait in the queue and blah, blah, blah.
That's not my culture. I don't...
That has nothing to do with you or your interests, I know, but, I'm just saying it can be fun. It's like when you wake up really early to go on a fishing trip with the boys.
Oh,
we're not having fun, but it'll be worth it in the long run.
It'll be fun once we get there. Because sometimes
pull up a couple fat boys.
The journey is the destination. You know that, Jason.
Yeah, if the smallies are biting.
It's crazy how many tickets they sold, though. All those shows sold out.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It'll be fun.
It's
I'm
crazy.
gonna wait. I'm just gonna go to the Rose Bowl show. I mean, I would like to see him in like Dublin though. Something about Dublin feels like a good city.
To
see them in.
What do you mean? The only way to see it is in London. I mean, I'll see it again in America, but the only way to really see it is in London. I feel like it's a totally different experience because I think if you go in LA, it's going to be a fucking bozo city, and in London, it's going to be like just so many people. It's going to be insane. I feel like it's going to be like a look. Like it's going to be the most exposure you could possibly get to like British culture in one place. good or bad.
I've already been exposed to British culture. I get it. I know it. I love it. I feel like Dublin will be the unsung heroes. I feel like Dublin nowadays, they rage harder than London. London's a little, it's a little pussified right now.
It's not about the raging. It's about it's not.
I understand that it's hometown turf, but as the crow flies, Dublin can own Oasis just as much.
What do you know about Dublin? Please educate me on your knowledge of Dublin. I would love to hear why you're flying your flag for Dublin. Not that it's not nice. I'm sure it is. I've never been there. I know you've never been there.
I've never been there. But I know they party like a bastard there.
They do party.
As Brits, if not more, pretty easily across the board. A lot of people agree with that. And I think that just right now, in the situation with everything going on in the world, I feel like Dublin will low-key be like a more fun city to see them in. They will show out, as it were.
Here's the thing.
The same way where you and I go and we do a show in Washington, D.C., and we're like, oh, shit.
Well, here's the thing.
Something like that, you know?
Here's the thing. The problem is these shows aren't going to be fun. It's nothing about this is fun. It's like seeing a band with 90,000 people sucks. Like getting there sucks, leaving there sucks, being there sucks. But I just have to
Well,
do
then
it.
why are you going?
Because I have to. Because it's something I have to see. I know I'm not going to like it. Like I'm going to like the actual show, but when there's that many people going, like when I went to go see the Rolling Stones, it was getting there was insane. You're on the train with the worst people you've ever seen in your life. Mm-hmm. It takes an hour. There's a line for every. It's a nightmare. All this stuff is insane. It's a nightmare. Mm-hmm. Any event is a nightmare, but we power through. I have to go. I have no choice.
Yeah, you have to go. I wonder if they're going to do. They're probably not going to do any live stream stuff. That's a lot of money on the table as well. But I think that would be a great way to enjoy it. Is to go see one show in person live, experience it, smell it, taste it, get beat up, whatever it is, and then watch it from the comfort of your own home while you order a gluten-free pizza and try out some dope-ass orange wines.
I am sure they're going to eventually put it somewhere. You know what I mean? There's no way they're not gonna. You have to capitalize.
They're gonna worth it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to capitalize on every angle of this. But yeah, I mean, big stuff sucks. Even if you're like
big stuff,
like
sucks.
Driving your car into the fucking arena, it's still gonna be annoying. Mm-hmm. Like it's still gonna be kind of annoying. It's like that's just what it is. It's too many people.
I've been hearing a few people, you included, talking about like the. Expecting it to be sort of like a hooligans ball, like it's going to be a rough and tumble crowd. You were mentioning
Maybe.
Like not wanting to go see them in Manchester because it's going to be just such the high potentiality for violence or whatever going on, street fights, brawls, hooliganism. And I heard some other people talking about it on another podcast, and I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't really think that. I mean, all these people, the average age of these concert goers is going to start with a 4 or a 5 in that number.
Yeah, and that's exactly why it's going to happen, because they're going to be drunk and trying to relive their youth, and that is the problem.
I think it's going to be. I think we've all gone a bit soft now, and I don't think that we are going to get a lot of hooligan violence at these shows.
Well, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of hooligan violence. Partly,
I mean, we're not gonna go. I mean, like it is Oasis. It is a rowdy band, and we're rocking. But half their hits are ballads. It's not. There's no circle pits. It's not like we're gonna go see the fucking Germs reunion, and a guy gets a fucking a screwdriver in the neck.
You're forgetting one thing. The amount of alcohol that's being consumed is the real issue. It's not about.
Do people drink in London?
I know, it's crazy. I think they do. I've heard that they do, but I don't know if it'll actually be violent or not, because also I think the football stuff happens because somebody loses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do see what you mean. I see what you mean in that instance, because it's like no one loses. We all win.
Well, I guess there could be violence, or we could have a bit of a trample if, I mean, and Oasis is known for this, but, they could get into a fight. They could maybe play 4 songs and storm off stage, and then there'll be a thing on a flat screen that says, "Show's canceled, please go to your car." And then that's when we start throwing Molotov cocktails at the guy selling Cornish pasties. And then, we've got 3 dates.
Anything could happen, I think. I'm not going to find out, but I will be watching the Daily Mail closely.
I think it's one of those things where it's like the Travis Scott situation, which weren't we just reading some excerpts of phone calls where some bad stuff is coming to light about that? But yeah,
what do you mean about that? When the people got trampled?
Yeah.
What more bad could come out of it than people dying?
I think like transcripts from text messages and emails between like high-ranking officials at production companies and agencies and managements and blah blah blah, talking to each other like in a very in a way that should not be public, like when like political things are leaked or whatever.
Sure,
you could be held accountable legally for, you're not going to get murder one, but like you're putting your life in the hands of a rock and roll band, pardon the pun, but like that much power, 100,000 people in the audience if they don't, if they fuck off and play 5 songs, like they could have like literal blood on their hands.
Yeah, there's going to be a problem. No, you're absolutely right.
They can't just be like, oh, fuck it, well, like it could be like really bad.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that I've seen a lot of people say that too, but I think they're going to play. Like I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I saw a funny photo of Noel like watching the Man City game yesterday.
Yeah,
and he's got the sourest puss on his face one could have. He looks like he just smelled the Queen's fart, and it's like the face of a man who just made $200 million in one day.
It's crazy. It's so sick. It's so sick. I saw that he was he was wearing this denim jacket that Mel Ottenberg designed with Sky High Farms, which was very cool. I was like, damn, that's a big cosign that I am personally looking for. Can you imagine if Noel showed up in a How Long Gone hat? Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you kidding?
I listen. I know I keep doing Irish. Yeah, that would be sick. Shout out to Daddy Mel as well.
I love podcasts, said Noel. Yeah, I mean, I'm going after this week of fashion events. I am going to Grand Rapids to see Father John Misty open for Casey Musgraves.
This guy cannot stop traveling.
It gets way worse after that. But it's exactly the situation I'm talking about that I just described, and I'm still going. So you know what I mean? I'm a glutton for punishment is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm voluntarily flying to Michigan to see Father John Misty because that's how much I like it, and it's the only time I could go.
You're getting in the back of an Uber, driving from Manhattan to an airport, going through TSA, waiting in the lounge, turbulence, bathroom smells, etc. Take another Uber to another hotel from another airport, and you're just gonna see Casey Musgraves in Michigan.
I mean,
that's dedication.
I just don't like, if I want to see something, it's always better to go not in New York, is what I've learned. Like, we're driving to Philadelphia on Saturday to see Katie because we were out of town for the show here.
Katie.
And I'm just like, I'd rather do that than be the 150th person in New York being like, hey, so what time are you on?
Whoa, this sounds very similar to me saying maybe it'd be better to go see Oasis in Dublin instead of Wembley Stadium.
No, it's not. It's not the same.
Go pay some bills.
Because you didn't have any reasoning except that you think they quote unquote turn up more. That's not
What's your reasoning?
My reasoning is it's not a cool guy shit show competition. Everybody's chill. Like, the whole situation is better because it's more mellow. But once it's 90,000 people, nothing's mellow, I guess. That's right. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters at that point when it's that big. I don't think anything is mellow.
We're going to stop getting mellow and start getting real.
That's our tagline.
I got a haircut yesterday at 8 a.m. I was really feeling Chris-like.
Whoa.
I've never had a haircut that early in my life.
I didn't think those straight edge bros were up that early.
I know, right? They started getting on the Chris Black workout plan. They said they started working out at 6 a.m. instead of 6 p.m.
That's actually really interesting. I mean,
the way it makes them feel.
I hate working out at night. I just feel like my day is over and I don't have the same amount of energy, obviously.
Yeah, you feel that way because it's true.
But
also, you're a barber. You're on your feet all day. And at the end of a fucking 10-hour shift, you don't want to.
When you've been wearing your Dickies and creepers all day, and then you got to go.
That's the other thing. You are not allowed to wear Hokas.
Yeah,
they have to wear a shiny shoe.
They got to wear it, dude. The Hoka thing is really getting out of control, man. We went uptown. We went to see the Ginny Holzer show at the Guggenheim yesterday. We were on the train, and I swear to God, like
those are real words.
East Village, like old rocker guys who would have been in like Fry boots or something, are now wearing the full like East Village Joey Ramone look with Hokas. It's crazy. Like, it doesn't I know you're old and it doesn't matter anymore, but you can't have Joey Ramone on top and fucking geriatric Equinox member on the bottom. Like, you can't have both.
I think what's happening, and this is something that started with Crocs and it's transcended into Hokas and other very comfortable shoe, Ugg boots and things like that. I've coined the phrase, it's like heroin for your feet. It feels so good. You stop caring how you look. It's seeped into our current president of America, even though he is 85 years old or whatever. He'll be wearing the full presidential suit, navy blue with the red tie and the American flag pin. And then down low, he'll be wearing...
He's got the Trump sneaks on?
He will be wearing a dress sneaker.
Okay, so he's got the Cole Haan dress sneaker from 2005. Okay,
He might have some Coleys on. It might be. I mean, that's kind of was a big selling point with Allbirds. It was like,
yeah, of course,
you could go from the boardroom
to the bedroom. When it's with old people, it's when it kills me because young people don't know any better. They look like idiots in their plastic shoes, and that's fine. It's all good. But like when you're an adult who has worn the same kind of general look for that long, and then you just switch up like that, it feels diabolical.
Well, I mean, it's you're of an era and a generation where you're like, you just wear this, and I don't care how you feel. Oh, your feet hurt wearing the dress shoes? Yeah, of course they do. But you wear the dress shoes because you don't want to look like an idiot. You don't want to look unkept or like you don't care about how you look or if, whatever. All the reasons why people wear dress shoes in all occasions, unless you're at the beach or whatever. But it is that thing where you are a certain age and you're just like, this fucking sucks. I hate wearing, a heavy leather shoe with a wood sole and rubber and putting them on, my feet hurt and walking and blah, blah, blah. And you wear these shoes and they're comfortable. And then somebody decided to make them all black and a little nondescript. And then you wear them with your suit one time and not a single person says anything. Nobody makes fun of your shoes.
Good point.
Maybe nobody even notices that you're wearing them. And then the next time you put your suit on, you're looking at your Blundstones, your Morhas in the closet, and you're like, no Morhas.
I mean, there's never a reason to wear sneakers with a suit. That's just insane to me.
Unless you're in the Strokes.
Yeah, the only person that gets a pass, and they only did it for a couple years. It's not like they still do it. They
stopped at 23.
Like, I just can't imagine that. Or when somebody gets married and they have like Jordans on with a tux, because they're like the funky sneakerhead husband. That's the word. That's the worst.
They clean though.
They clean. I got the Travis Scott Dunks on with my fucking Men's Warehouse suit. I'm ready to tie the knot, baby. I just don't. You see that all the time.
There's a good shoe pun there.
You see that all the time. But yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you see that one. You will see we all wear white Converse. Kind of thing,
White Air Force I've seen.
And that's so big. I've seen like Converse has like a section on their website now that's just like bridal.
That's insane.
They like sell so many like wedding shoe packages that you can go. There's a separate tab on their website for like buying, in bulk, like 24 pairs of shoes for your whole wedding party. The same way, you can order the 15 pack at Uncle Polly's.
Can you imagine getting the text from your homie being like, all right, so the suit is at Suit Supply. Here's the one you're gonna go pick up, and then I've ordered Converse in your size, so we'll see you on August 35th. Mm-hmm. You can't do that to people. That's cruel and unusual.
We all kind of have it a little too easy now. I mean, I'm sounding boomery, but every generation before us had it a little bit harder, and we are at a point where those who have it well, who are fortunate enough to be grateful for those things, have life so easy. Everything is just so easy. And then once you start wearing these squishy shoes and everyone else is wearing the squishy shoes, and we're all wearing the squishy shoes.
There's going to be a time. The EVA shoe thing, which is like the Salehi Crocs and the regular Crocs and the Merrells and all those like plastic shoes, those will go away. They have to go away soon. You look like a kid going to recess in those shoes.
But if at least 50% of people wear those or are okay with wearing those, there is no reason for the game to stop. There's no reason to get off the ride.
But the game will just stop because trends change. Yeah, it's just another trend. It's just another trend. It's just like, because it's one of those things where you can buy a pair of Crocs for $20 or you can buy some limited edition shit for $250. You know what I mean? There's a range of it now.
Balenciaga Crocs as well.
I had
a flex
cab driver who had on Crocs, and the little decorations are called giblets, right?
I think so. Yeah, giblets.
His giblets were all McDonald's stuff.
Okay.
And I was just like, how did you do you love McDonald's that much? Did somebody just hand this to you and you put it on? Because you have to put those on. You have to like install them in your Croc.
Yeah. It's an adornment that is self-inflicted.
I couldn't believe I'd never seen the McDonald's
I guess there's a small chance he bought those secondhand and he tried to take the giblets off, but by golly, they're just on there too good.
The giblets were just on too damn good. What am I supposed to do?
He had to go on Reddit and see if anyone had a tutorial on how to remove I got a stuck giblet. And I tell you what, it's a pain in my hide.
I got how to fix a stuck giblet. Giblet.
Want to get in there with the WD-40 and let it sit for a minute.
Giblet also feels like something you're going to put on the grill tomorrow for Labor Day. A little bit. I got some giblets.
Giblet, famously a poultry part. That's for sure. I've never cooked giblet before, though.
I went down to McCall's. They had some nice giblets on offer, and I had to get a dozen giblets for the family.
On offer?
For the family. They had a dozen giblets for the family.
Yeah, we got a giblet special. We got 2-for-1 jibs. Doors at 7 and they're gone when they're gone. Okay, so just show
Oh, to the left. Oh, that line's for the giblets. If you just want to stand over there, yeah, just behind that guy.
Actually, I don't know what organ. Do you know what organ exactly the giblet is? Because it's a real thing.
Oh, it is. I don't know if it actually is.
The same way, like a sweet bread is it's like a special kind of organ that's near the pancreas. Okay, the giblets are just referred to all the parts of the organ parts in general. So giblets are the liver, the heart, the gizzard, the neck.
Of course.
Just the edible organ meat from a chicken or duck. Or
okay, turkey. Hold on. Now that we know that, are the Crocs things really called giblet? Gibbets. Gibbitz.
Gibbets.
So I fucked up.
I mean,
I fucked up a little bit.
The gibbets.
That's the southern in me.
That's not a real word, so I think you get some bonus points there. But there has to be some correlation with giblets.
Yeah. Bro, they got more. The Crocs website got more options than Susan Alexandra. Bro, this is crazy. They got everything. You got candy, but you got gummy bears. You got
thought
flowers.
Susan could accessorize. So no.
You got Houston Astros logos. This is crazy.
Well, funny you say that, Chris. I do have a friend who works at Crocs, and she said if we ever want to do a How Long Gone limited edition series of gibbets, we could probably make that happen. And I said, I'm not even going to ask Chris that because the idea of that would upset him so much. She said, that sounds like Chris. Yes, I agree.
I appreciate the offer, and that would be funny, but that goes against everything I believe in. And I like comfort. Don't get me wrong. I like to wear comfortable. I'm not like a guy who wears cowboy boots no matter what to make my feet hurt.
Sure.
But I think that we've just really prioritized comfort in a way that I think, whether it's sweatpants or Crocs, we gotta relax.
I mean, obviously, I agree that it may have gone a little too far, and I don't want to be old guy talking about how we used to wear suits at the airport, kind of thing. But I also don't see it changing and going in the opposite direction. I see it either holding strong or just getting worse as time continues on.
I feel like I've noticed a little bit of a change at the gym. Like for the last couple of years, chicks would only be in matching sets.
Okay.
They have their set, their aloe set, their Lulu set, blah, 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 blah.
You're noticing mixing now?
I'm noticing some mixing and some variety in the mixing where it's like, some regular, it's not all like sweat wicking, like tightening materials. You know what I mean? It's like a mix of things, which I feel like 2 or 3 years ago, especially like an Equinox in Soho, that was not the case. These bitches were wearing fucking pink aloe sets and they were going to die on that hill.
So that would mean, or this would indicate people getting more casual as time goes on. Would you agree that a matching aloe sets would be considered more of a put together look in the gym?
Yeah, for sure. I would. But I also think it has something to do with like a younger generation not liking things to be perfect, if that makes sense. Like the way that like our generation, when Instagram started, it was like a picture of a perfectly poured cappuccino and a croissant on a marble table with a copy of Serial magazine. Overhead angle.
Brecky sorted.
And now it's just like shitty TikTok videos of people throwing basketballs 300 yards into a goal. There's no, you know what I mean? It's not as put together. And like, there's actually like data that says that like young people don't want that. They want things to be like unedited and unvarnished.
Yeah.
So it feels like an extension of that in some ways, where it's like, oh, that's no, I don't want it to look perfect. I want to be a little funky.
Right. I might show up wearing one blue sock, one orange sock to Pilates.
Exactly.
Drops the mic.
There's also a trend, we talked about this yesterday, where it's ballerina style, where you wear the tights with the big sweatpants over the tights, and you see the tights peeking out of the top.
And I came.
So the sweatpants are a little kind of, J-Lo style, a little baggy, but then underneath you have the classic legging, and you're sagging a little bit, for lack of a better term.
We're sagging a little bit. Just a glimpse of coochies coming through.
Just a glimpse.
You know what you're doing.
Speaking of trends, I reported on this yesterday on Twitter, but it's the U.S. Open hat has hit the skids. Mm-hmm. The U.S. Open hat is, unfortunately, and there was a New York Times article coincidentally about it, saying that it's like the thing can you go to the U.S. Open and not buy a hat?
Yeah, I mean, when I went last year and 2 years ago, it was the hats were already cooked, in my opinion. It was already...
the hats have been cooked. The hats have been cooked, but it's like when you're in New York, it's like unbelievable how many people, because they're wearing the brand new one they got the night before, which is like, you got to put it on ice for 10 years.
Yeah, it's giving wearing the Olivia Rodrigo sweatshirt at the airport the next day.
I saw some amazing merch, like concert stuff in Charleston, like stuff I didn't like, things I'd never, like a Tyler Childers shirt or like a Kelsey Ballerini, like artists I didn't even know made merch.
These are not real words.
Zach Bryan was the only one I recognized. And there was like 4 other like country adjacent artists that I was like, I can't believe you bought a shirt at this show.
Kelsey Zambolini. Sounds cool.
Kelsey Ballerini's pretty popular, I think.
Kelsey Ballerini Farms. I'll check it out.
You're not going to be familiar. I'm only familiar from watching.
I am not.
I think she's dating an actor, so I think that helped raise her profile.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. Yesterday I went down to the OC. We were celebrating Carolyn's dad's birthday and also mine. We have the same birthday, but got him the bug assault gun.
I saw. Okay. How was it using the gun?
So fun, so good.
Do you feel the power? Did you kill any flies though?
I killed flies.
Oh wow!
I did not like killing the flies. I don't like doing that, but if there's like a vermin in your house or a spider or something, you can kind of trap them and dump them outside. But a fly, you just kind of gotta get. There's nothing you can do about it. It's like a cockroach. It's like, I want to set you free, but you're just gonna come back in my house tomorrow. So, sorry, Queen.
How was your aim?
Perfect. Next question.
That sounds a little rich. I'm sure everybody took a turn. So, were you the best?
Yeah. Come on, bro.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I set up a spent La Croix can out in the back patio. And then, everyone could kind of have their way with it, get a feel for the bolt action, get a feel for the recoil, before we really start going. But there was a fly that got inside the dining room, and I was the one who self-deputized myself to go in and get her done.
Okay, so you loaded up with salt bullets, correct?
Yeah, you just pour in iodized salt. You just pour
regular
salt
table
into,
salt.
Yeah, just table salt goes into the hole. Don't use Maldon, no kosher, just table salt. You want buckshot for our gun owners out there.
Okay. How much does it hold? Like, how many shots are you getting? How big is the tank?
I haven't seen the bottom of it yet, sister.
Okay,
I don't know. I think I think you can get at least 100 shots off out of a tank. I think
but
it's
I'm
a
just
lot.
trying to understand how it's dispersed, because I don't understand. Like, is it
It's
short bursts?
It's like a shotgun. So you fill up. It looks like a super soaker. You fill it up. You put the salt in the salt hole. Sounds like me last night. And then you pump it. One big cock of the rifle, and you pull the trigger, and then it shoots out a blast that's similar to like shotgun, like 100 tiny little pellet BBs, but it's made out of salt. And I shot my hand from 2 feet away, and it hurt, but it didn't like break the skin. I wasn't like crying or anything like that, but you feel it. But it was so fun, and I figured out that, because it's one of those things where you're like, oh, that sounds fun, I want one of those, but then you're like, I'm not gonna buy one of those. It's It's fucking stupid. Like, am I really going to spend $50 on a plastic gun that shoots salted bugs? Like, I'm a grown ass man. But
when you describe it that way, it is a little twisted.
you could paint a picture that ain't pretty. But if you give it as a gift for someone, like in your friend group, and then that person opens the door, so you get it for a gift for your dad or your mom. You know, the uncle gets it, the cousin gets it, and everyone just gives everybody in the friend group or the family group the gun as a gift, so nobody has to buy it, and then everyone can get to spraying.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice.
Let Chiquita speak.
Nice way. I kind of want. I mean, I just don't. I guess I'm just, the fly is not alerted. Like, there's no noise. Like, the fly isn't scared. Like, they hear it go off, or it's so fast that they do hear it go off, and there's no chance to flap away.
So fast. Because typically, I'm good at shooting flies with the gun, but I've also for years I will take a rolled up kitchen towel and I will lock a room, ass smack.
Oh wow, okay.
A fly in my house and whoosh, kill that bitch.
Wow, I did. Okay,
so if I can hit it with a rolled up IKEA towel, you know, the pump action shotgun really makes it a little too easy.
Okay, so you're a tactical cat. You can get it done in a pinch.
Yeah, to me, it's like I'm a caveman who's been, you know, catching my meals with a slingshot and rocks my whole life, and then somebody hands me an AR-15 and they're like, see if this works out for you. Like, of course, it's going to be a big improvement of what's going on.
Okay, so
of course, I'm going to take to it like a child to a mother's teeth. You know what I mean?
For decades, you've been having to kill flies with your bare hand, and thank God that this salt rifle has been introduced into your life, and now you can kill them hands-free, almost.
It's almost like I've spent my whole life wearing uncomfortable shoes, and now I'm an old guy. Yeah, you know what? I will start wearing Hey Dudes.
Where do you buy the salt gun? Home Depot?
Big Five.
Oh, Big Five has it. Okay. I thought it feels like a as seen on TV, like Amazon only kind of product. So I'm glad to know you can buy it IRL.
It's available on Amazon as well, of course.
Okay, but you hit Big Five because you wanted to check the pump action before you copped.
We hit Big Five because Carolyn had some store credit there.
I've never been to Big Five.
It's awful and it's great. They got Gatorade gum.
It's just like a shitty home.
No, it's a sporting goods store.
Yeah, but it's like a shitty sporting goods store.
It's kind of half and half. It used to be popular because they have mostly like bad shit. They have some like legitimate real stuff there. It was known for a long time as a place where you could also low-key buy a gun. And
okay, like a Walmart.
I think like a year ago,
you can cop a tire and a pump.
Yeah, but they had like more real stuff. Like Walmart was like you can get like rifles, like hunting rifles only kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Big Five, like you can just pull up and get a 9. You know.
Oh shit!
But I think they stopped doing that. And they only sell like airsoft rifles. Sorry for all the late girls and gays listening to this episode as we're talking about airsoft rifles. Let's talk about gay shit. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, when I was at dinner or when I was at lunch with Carolyn and her mom, this is a dumb story, but it was just something that had never happened to me before, where she used the word weak sauce in a sentence, but literally. She like there was like a long dining table.
There was a sauce on the table that was weak, is what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
She made 2 sauces, like 2 dipping sauces for these spring rolls, and one of them had a lot of like Thai chili mixed into it, and the other one didn't. And she was like, "Jason, you should sit on that side of the table where the weak sauce is."
Damn. She said hit the weak sauce, TJ.
It's delicious. Feeling good. My weird gut health diet is really working well. Carolyn said she's feeling much less inflamed and body tea is happening. Me, not so much. But we'll get there.
I feel like what they ask you to do is not that challenging, but it could make a big difference, obviously, if it's like actually a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you really had to change your life.
For me to avoid tomatoes during tomato season?
I don't think that's that
That
long.
is a lot.
I mean, but you've had a pasta or something. You're just not eating like a sliced tomato on a sandwich.
No, I've avoided it. I'm not even eating ketchup.
I mean, that's probably a little extreme, don't you think?
No. I mean, whenever you do like an elimination kind of diet that's based on allergies or gut health or whatever, you kind of have to like stick with it.
So what do you think is working exactly?
What do I think is working?
Like, what do you feel? What difference are you feeling?
I mean, it basically is telling you like, hey, these foods.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware of what it's telling you. I'm asking you how you feel different so far. Is what I'm asking you.
Oh, I would say I am sleeping a lot better.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm getting more hours sleep, and I'm waking up in the middle of the night less.
Yeah, that's good.
You just kind of feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
In general, and I think a lot of that is instead of avoiding the foods that you should not eat, we just focus on only eating all the foods that are considered quote unquote superfoods for our specific bodies. Unfortunately, our foods that we should avoid and our superfoods are like wildly different, so there's not a ton of crossover on there. But like hers says like, hey, like you should be eating like Vietnamese food, more or less. And she's like, cool, I'm Vietnamese, so that makes sense.
So yours says you should eat hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff.
Mine says, chug milk all you want, blah, blah, blah. And hers says milk bad for you. It's all kind of standard stuff. But then, there's certain things where it's like, hey, don't eat cucumbers because there's a bacteria inside of your body that is bad and it loves to eat cucumbers, and you're feeding this bad bacteria in your body. So if you stop eating it, then this bad bacteria will starve and die.
Yeah, I had some similar when I stopped eating dessert. I had some similar, like I slept better and like felt better generally, which is I just didn't think it. I don't know. You don't realize how much things affect you until you take them away.
Yeah. So when you just eat a bunch of fruit for dessert, your body is just going to feel really good. And if those fruits that you're eating are specific fruits that your body really responds to. So like for me, it says like papaya, guava, kiwi, jackfruit, like those types of fruits are really good for me. And then Carolyn has like strawberries and raspberries. I'm like, fuck, bitch.
I'm jealous.
But also like she's not supposed to be eating beef where, I'm beef down. Pause.
The thought of having to eat kiwi doesn't really sit well with me.
You don't like a nice kiwi?
No, disgusting. Hairy little fruit? Nah, bro. I'm set. I like
Hairy little
raspberries.
fruit.
I really like watermelon, raspberries, pineapple. I'll blueberry. Any berry is fine.
Okay.
But bananas are fine. I'm anti-apple. Disgusting little skinned food.
Skin is an issue for you, huh?
Skin, yeah, it really is. Like even if you peel it,
you like your fruit boneless, is what you're saying.
I like my fruit boneless. It's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I meant. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I mean, even I said this before. I think to you that my mom used to have an apple peeler that she would bust out, and if you dip them in peanut butter, but I mean, if you dip anything in peanut butter, it tastes good. The real way to eat an apple is like grabbing it on the go. You're at the airport, you buy, and that I just can't do it.
Crunching down on that bastard. Well, I think another good part about eating just really good produce instead of dessert or whatever is you get good, or you should get good at choosing produce. So it's not just like I'm going to go to the store and buy an apple and you're like, oh, this apple sucks. Like if you eat a really, really crazy, perfectly ripe apple at the peak of season and sugar content and blah, 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 it's going to be a fucking orgasmic situation in your mouth. But most people don't ever experience that, know that it exists.
I know that it exists. I don't care enough to kind of do that, but I do. I've experienced that with melon because they serve that at restaurants.
They do.
And it's like, damn, this is fucked up how good this is. And I've never liked this before in my life. Like, I mean, I've eaten it, but I just didn't care. You know what I mean? You're like, wow, this is different. This is fucked up.
This is a really good version of something I still don't really give that much of a fuck about.
Well, it's also like I don't like peaches. I grew up eating fucking canned peaches. You know what I mean? I'm sure if we were picking them from a tree, I would have a different feeling about peaches as an adult.
Shout out to Libby's canned peaches. You guys are the best. Lastly, I had like a weird food epiphany, and I wanted to try this on for size for you. It's sort of like a new style of eating where, when you go to dinner with a couple or maybe two couples or whatever, and you go there and we're at this table and we're all talking, and it can, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good, sometimes you're just not in the mood for a group meal or a double date or a six top or whatever. So the move is, let's say you have a double date. It's Carolyn and I, you and Alex. We go to a restaurant. We go to the bar. we share a cocktail together. We'll maybe, you know, exchange some ideas, maybe have some olives, some nuts or whatever. You know, just some light chit chat, some lavender, Marcona almonds, you know, whatever it is, maybe a little crudo, who knows. And then Carolyn and I go to our table and have dinner. You and Alex go to your table and have dinner. And then
not a bad idea.
And then when we're done, we all meet up outside for a glass of Amaro or port and a cigarette, and then we can sort of discuss what we've ordered, what we liked, and what we didn't like. So this allows you to, one, order exactly what you want, not what other people want, not for the table, blah, blah, blah. There's no bullshit. And then your conversation that you have with other people, there's a sense of urgency to it now. So like when you're about to sit down for a double date with other people, you know, it could be a 3-4 hour meal, you know, from door to door, the pressure to fill the conversation for that long. So you're like, okay, we got 10 minutes up top, you know, 20 minutes at the bottom. You feel like this is fun because I know it's about to be over. Like when you're on stage.
No, this is
you know, you got an hour. We got to do a live podcast for an hour. There's 53 minutes left. You know, the tension just melts off of your body. You're just feeling good. You're in a happy mood. And then, you know, you're done. And that's it. And then at the end of it, it feels like it was a hangout. So if you're like, oh my God, we keep forgetting to hang out, blah, blah, blah. You know, we got to do it. And you only spend 30 minutes together, but you spend an evening together, and it feels and it counts as a hangout.
This reminds me of the thing where I can't remember who it was that said this to me, but they're like, oh, I don't talk to my wife all day or my girlfriend, whatever. We don't speak all day. Mm-hmm. And when we get home, we talk to each other because that way there's something to talk about. It feels similar to that, where it's like, let's just avoid, and then we can have something. I like it. I'm for it. I'll try it if you want to try it.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk. Obviously, you can talk a little bit,
sure,
you know, here and there. But I mean, it's, you know, it's not like, hey, call me when you're on your way home, where I am, and tell me how your day was. So then, when you get home, we can sit down and you can tell me about how your day was.
yeah.
But yeah, we can give it a try. Shit. And then also, it's cool because at the end, especially if you go with judgmental foodie people, hopefully. Then you can be like, oh, you got the crit. Oh, I actually didn't like that. I thought it was a little too acidic. No, I loved it.
Yeah, Jason, I've been to restaurants.
You didn't get the burger? You're a fucking idiot. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
I've been to restaurants with you before. I know you hate everything. How long gone? It's too acidic. We're back next week with several podcasts. We got some friends and some heavy hitters as well. Mm-hmm. I think that's it, Jason. Have a beautiful Sunday. I'll talk to you tomorrow because we're recording on Monday with our homie who's taking the world by storm right now in his sunglasses and his little suit.
He's Brat.
All right. Thank you for listening.
I dare you to guess who it is.
How long gone?
HowLongGone.com is the website.
Later. Thanks, guys.
Later.